Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, it's Jackie Kashian. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieKashian.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com if you enjoy a determiner. In November and December, as per usual with the Dork Forest, do not donate to the show. Instead, find your local food bank and donate to them. If you go to feedingamerica.org, you can look up your local food bank. There'll be a link if you want to order merch for the holidays. That, of course, still perfectly available. If you want T-shirts or CDs, if you want a zip hoodie, I have like 2 of each size. I don't want to keep them in stock, but I'll keep some in stock, it turns out. Okay, so that's where you go to JackieKashian.com and you go to the merch page and you order T-shirts, CDs, and hoodies. That's also where my schedule is and my contact info, Jackie@JackieKashian.com. So if you want to see the stand-up or live Dork Forests, all that information is there. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, so feel free to join those groups. There is a Ranger of the Dork Forest group that is fan-made on Facebook that I'm also a part of, which is fun. So go look for Rangers of the Dork Forest group on. There is also an Amazon banner, a white banner on the right-hand side above the videos. If you want to use that, I get a kickback. No additional cost to you. You just go to Amazon through JackieKashian.com and that white banner that says support the show by ordering from Amazon. And there's a holiday thing you could do for the Dork Forest if you want. AllThingsComedy.com is the podcast network that I'm on, and there's a lot of great podcasts there, and they're going to start doing their own content, which will be super fun. Let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sings the intro song with Sarah Cohen, his girlfriend, and he sings Mexican Hat Dance at the end. Patrick Brady will fix this audio, and he compiles the teaser clips on YouTube, which is youtube.com/thedorkforest, and Vilmos fixes the website. There are bonus tracks on the apps. There's an iPhone app and an Android app that you can get from tdf.libsyn.com. And for some reason, they're just also putting the bonus tracks up there. And that's just Andy and I talking about each episode. So enjoy that. This is long, so let's just get into it because it's a great episode. Enjoy. Hey, it's Jackie Kashian. I'm sitting here with Rhiannon Archer. I like doing Rhiannon. What do you like? How do you do it?
It's Rhiannon.
It's Rhiannon? Yeah. I like Rhiannon, obviously. I've clearly wanted to ethnic it up in some sort of way. Canadian comedian, yep. Rhiannon. How's it going? We met doing the stand-up comedy in many ways.
Pardon me?
We met doing stand-up comedy. Yes. We were in Portland, Oregon.
One of the best cities in the world.
Sure. Yeah, that's good times. Portland, Oregon. I'm all in favor of it.
I liked it. I've gone a couple times, and I enjoy it.
And we were in the... All Jane, No Dick.
Yeah.
Hilariously entitled All Jane, No Dick.
Yeah.
And it was ladies. It was all and it was great. Just all women comics who were, interestingly enough, not the same person.
No.
Right. It was about 20 different women who were all different from each other, from men, and all funny. Genuinely funny. It was a great lineup.
Absolutely. And good people, too. Made some friends.
Yeah. Met a lot of really nice... Cameron Esposito, I had never really hung out with her before, and so I got to meet her, and I got to meet you. And then we met again in Toronto.
Yes, we did.
Because you're a Toronto comic.
I am a Toronto comic.
And
that makes me always giggle when I come down here, because they're like, oh, a Canadian comic. And I'm like, I don't know what the emphasis on Canadian means, but I'm like, I get it.
What do you feel Toronto comic? I'm having a gummy fang, just because we are
having gummy fangs.
Let's have gummy fangs. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to be psyched to hear us talk through gummy fangs.
I always get nervous, though, because, so these fangs are green.
Mm-hmm.
The lips are green.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was orange. The teeth are white. And then there's black in it. And I always get nervous that that's going to be black licorice flavored.
Oh, do you get
I always get, a little panic attack, because I'm like, oh, no.
No, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, but all corn syrup, all the way.
Delicious.
Completely. Yeah. And delicious. Pretty good. We got an Oriental Trading Company. We gave them to the kids, but we only had 117 children. We usually get over 200 children. And so we have about 50 of these left.
These came from all the way from Omaha, Nebraska. I've been there, too.
Are these... Oh, have you been? Did you do the Funny Bone? I don't know.
I was not doing comedy at the time. I went for vacation.
Yeah, that is worth a laugh.
Yeah.
Because there's about 200 people in Omaha, Nebraska that I would want to hang out with.
Oh, I thought there's only 200 people in the entire city.
Oh, no.
Because
No.
I didn't see a single person when I was there. They have these weird...
What happened?
I don't know.
Were you wearing did you not?
No, I don't know. See, I've tried to come up with every possible explanation.
How long were you there?
Oh, a week and a half.
And you saw a single person. There had to
no.
be some meeting.
Well, what happened was
There had to be some exchange of goods and services. Come on.
There was a little bit. We drove to Des Moines because I was like, "There's nothing
When you
here.
go on vacation, there's nothing in Omaha. Let's drive to Des Moines. Can I get a high five on that? Thank you very much.
Well,
Okay. What'd you go to see in Des Moines?
The mall.
They have a three-legged
I went to
the mall. A three-legged dog.
Because I was trying to find because at the time, this was a while ago, I wanted to go to Forever 21.
All right. You were a simple child of Canada, and you said to yourself, let's go to Omaha for a week and a half.
Well, the thing is, I used to have a boyfriend who was working out of there, so we stayed at a...
See?
I went to go visit.
It's not a destination place. It's a place
No.
you go because...
You have to.
Right. No offense, people of Omaha, but the only reason to go to Omaha is for money or love.
The casino was fun.
Oh, did you go to an Indian casino? It would have been an Indian casino. We have Indians. Do you have Aboriginals?
We
What do you
have.
guys have?
I'm going to sound like a dink here. I think
Double
it's
income.
Aboriginal right now. I don't
Yeah?
think it's Native. I think Native is. I don't know if that's the
Native
right one.
American went south as well.
We don't-
Indians gone. Native
Oh, we
Americans
cannot
gone.
say Indian.
Do
We cannot
not
say
say Indian.
Indian. If you say-
They don't want to hear it.
No, but an Eskimo's not very nice either. But we
No,
still
Eskimo
have
isn't nice. Inuit. You're supposed to use
Yes,
the tribe name.
There we go.
Yeah.
But we still have a sports team with that name.
Well,
So-
we have Redskins.
I know.
Which is like saying, "Hey, here's the Negroes." It's like, but the Negro, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People is okay, and the Negro Baseball League is okay.
You're allowed to say colored people.
Colored people in a group named by black people back in the 40s and before. Actually, I don't know the history of. Let's have an NAACP dork on one time. Wow, we have really. This is a real
we
clock
really-
eater. Just us chatting.
Went right off.
Totally off.
That's fun though.
It's because you're from Canada, and it's always so interesting. You were just explaining to Andy Ashcraft that that there's the Catholic school that you went to. Not a lot of history.
no history, and not
Just
much.
the fur trade. You started with the fur trade.
No, we started with Jesus, and then he
Right.
died, and then we're like, okay, that's done, and now we're going to talk
So
about the fur
33
trade.
years of history
Yeah.
of the Middle East, and
No,
and
just
not
of
even
what Jesus did, kind of.
just the Jesus days.
Yeah,
to
he
him.
did this and that, and then he died.
And not even 33 years. Just the 3 years that he was pounding the pavement. He was a Amway salesman.
Yeah, but I have no idea what he did in his 20s.
Right.
I have no idea.
I barely have any idea what I'm doing in my 20s. Come on. What did I do in? Okay. So,
So then, and then the fur trade happened.
and then the fur trade happened. Okay. But you said, well, we could talk about how I like abandoned places. That was
Yes,
one of the
yes,
first
yes.
things you just said to me. The thing I want to talk about, we're going to get there. But what's an abandoned place? You would.
Okay. This is what makes me so sad about coming to the States because I do not know your laws and I do not want to get in trouble. But what I do at home is I go on, like, there's a few websites. There's like Abandoned Ontario, which is the province I'm from, or Urban Exploration. And a bunch of like people like made this online community that, you know, break into or go and check out abandoned hospitals, houses, towns,
Really?
farms and stuff like that, and they kind of document them and talk about them and say like, "Hey, check out this. It's a hotel."
Are they
and
haunted?
It's really, some of them.
Some of them are haunted.
Some of them. And I only have one rule, and no barns, because barns clap easy, very, very easily.
Barns fall down.
Yeah, I just want to mention that. If anybody's like, "Oh, hey, that sounds fun," do not go into a barn.
Okay.
They will fall down and you will die. Easy as that. And don't bring your dog either. He's total heat score.
What's a heat score? What is that?
It's like a Canadian thing. It's the
Please translate the word heat score for me.
So it's just like he's a bust. He's gonna get like. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about my dog. specifically Beefy. I don't bring
You
him.
have a dog named Beefy.
Yeah, he's a
What kind of dog?
Boston Terrier and a pug mix.
Okay,
He's
so
a beautiful little gentleman.
So it's a small gentleman,
Yeah.
that very dapper, no doubt. Very.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, I think I kind of get what you're saying when you say heat score and bust. Are you saying that the Cheez-It, it's the cops?
Yeah. So if I'm
Yeah.
like Beefy, shh, be quiet, and he won't. He'd be like, no. Let's bring these guys into this. We'll have a lot of fun. And I'm like, no. And I almost got busted once, but Beefy runs. He's pretty quick.
He's quick.
He's a
He's
little
quick for a
svelte,
terrier.
he's quick.
For a pug. Pugs
Yeah.
are not known to be quick.
Oh, he's very tall. He's more of. He looks like he's got pug characteristics.
Sure, just some pug features
Yeah.
mixed in. I've recently bought the domain name familypetancestry.com in an effort to
good.
make $1 million 5 years from now when people are like, but I want to know, did my dog come over on the Mayflower? Did his ancestors come over? Because don't you want to know if your dog is a dog of the American Revolution? That's an American joke. You're not going to get that.
No, right over the head.
Right over the head. So heat score. That's a way of saying
He's
cop shop.
Yeah.
That's it's gonna reveal you to the officials. So what you're saying is that it's not legal in Canada either.
Oh,
to look at an
no,
abandoned
but
thing.
like, have you seen our mayor in Toronto? Like, you can get away
That's
with
right.
murder.
That's right.
Well,
It's
you didn't
your
get away
mayor.
with murder. You can smoke crack and it'll be fine. So
Wait, is it fine? Did they decide that it's fine? He gets to continue to be mayor
something's going on right now
as
and-
we speak.
and there's a weird time change here, so I've just kind of checked out of Toronto, and I'm
It's
like,
3 hours later, by the way. It's not that big of a time change.
semantics. I don't know the conversion. Leave me alone. You guys are all on metric, so I have no idea. Just, anyways, I could care less about the Ford thing. Like, that's
Right.
been going on for so long, and some of our legal system is a joke because you can arrest people and throw them in jail for essentially what our mayor did. But if our mayor did, it's like, oh, it's okay.
We'll look into it.
And
yeah.
and the sad thing is like, he's not even a good mayor.
Oh,
Like,
really?
He's done nothing.
Right. Has he broken anything though? Sometimes
Probably
I think,
a couple like chairs in his office. But
Oh yeah.
Oh,
what? Because what I was thinking is that sometimes with elected officials, I'm just pleased if they haven't ruined something. You know, like I was not a fan of Mr. George W. Bush.
Oh,
who
yeah.
decided to wipe his ass with the Constitution.
Yeah.
And that was disappointing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So Barack Obama is just trying to get us back to just when Bush started ripping up the Constitution. He hasn't been able to reinstate the Constitution.
Yeah.
Nobody has that kind of power. Not in one, because whenever there's whenever you give someone a lot of power,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get it back from them, almost impossible.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's the nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so abandoned things. You want to see where a hospital was in the 70s?
Well, yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of them. Like, you can go to a whole bunch of things like abandoned schools, and there's just something about them that
What is it about them? What do you like?
I like going in there, and I like trying to, as silly as it is, make up a story or figure out why. Why was everything just left? Like, because there's a lot of places that still look like, you know, they're
lived in and stuff. But
some of them are houses, and they have, like, you know, you just see what happened, and they've got, you know, there's still dishes left everywhere, and they're like full of cobwebs and
like
there's-
full on abandoned in flight.
Yes.
Is that your favorite kind?
Oh, I love it when you find that kind of stuff, but that's very rare. But like, there was an old school about 3 hours from my house north that just looked like in the middle of class, everybody just left.
What?
And then people like ransacked it.
Yeah.
It's like pushed over, but
Sure.
there was still
There's still stuff people didn't want.
yeah, tests, books.
They're like, well, I'm not going to take this 5th grade math book. I don't want it homework. That's not why I came in to loot this school.
Exactly. And so I really like doing that. I like going through.
What town is
happened?
that in?
I can't remember the name because it was a while ago. There is, however, just outside of Niagara Falls, I think it's fully torn down now, is an abandoned amusement park, water park.
Oh, wow.
So that's super cool because then
That's spooky.
There's still records. There's like a rusted old Ferris wheel, and you can go down the water slides with like a skateboard.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no, so it's super
take your
fun.
life in your own hands.
But
did you do it with friends or were you a loner?
Yeah. No. Safety first, right? Safety first.
All right, safety
Because last
first.
thing I need is like, yeah, we
twist an ankle and then you'll die of starvation.
Absolutely.
Trapped on a Ferris wheel.
And we do have health care, but you need to get to the health care if you have it, right?
Right, it's not like a Med Alert bracelet that you could just press and then all of a sudden a Mountie shows up. That'd
be like,
awesome. That'd be so awesome. All of a sudden,
Be like, are you-
Dudley Do-Right just comes over the hill on a horse.
Yeah, that's the silliest thing. Horse cops. That's the silliest thing. We have them all over Toronto, and
Yeah.
they're just silly.
Isn't
And I'm
it
like,
nostalgic?
No, it's like, first off, the horses look like their feet are hurting, and I don't understand. I get yelled at for not picking up my dog's poop, but the horses can just, shit all over the sidewalks and just leave it. Like, I used to work downtown in like the center of the city, and this one time this like horse just like shit everywhere, and there's all these like business people like walking around huge mounds of horse crap, and I'm like, whoa.
Nobody's going to pick this up. Nobody's going to clean that up.
Well, I kept tweeting at the police that some very irresponsible dog owner with a very sick dog has not been cleaning up after themselves. So you should really get on that. And I did it for about 2-3 days, and then
Anything?
Oh, they cleaned it up.
Oh, good.
They had to clean it up. I was like, really?
You guys,
Get this out of here.
this is not cool. All right. So think about, if you can, other abandoned buildings that you like. But let's move on quickly to when we drove in a car for too long outside of Toronto.
In very, very treacherous weather.
Yeah, it was all weirdly.
Snowy?
It was like a sort of an ice storm snow.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I'm from Wisconsin. I used to do the road hardcore in the vehicle. But Ian Atlas, friend of the people, good egg, and nicest guy in the world, mentioned it was 2 hours. Turns out it was 3. But that's because he's a booker, and you don't want to tell people things are 3 hours away because that's too far.
Yeah.
2 hours feels just about right. And 3 hours might be too much. But it was a great show. Super fun. That tiny town that those people were like hostage to.
Oh, yeah. And it looked like in the middle of the city, it looked like Back to the Future. Because it had
Yeah.
that weird bell tower.
Yeah. It would look like just like this town square in Back to the Future. It looked exactly like that, except for February.
Yes.
And
I remember asking for a glass of wine, and the lady gave me like a pint of wine. And I was like, I'm not drinking this. And I'm like, oh, welcome to Goderich.
welcome to Goderich, Canada.
Yeah.
Which probably there's a province in there. What province was that?
Goderich?
Yeah. We were in
Ontario.
We were in Ontario.
Ontario.
I can't remember everything. What do I got? All the information?
No, and I just remember I'm like looking like we were only 3 hours away. 3 hours
Right.
away from like one of the biggest cities in Canada.
yeah.
And I'm like, what? Why is that okay?
Why a pint
pint
glass?
of wine? Because I didn't want it in a wine glass. I didn't want to seem like a snob or like that person. Like,
They don't
"Can I have
own
a
a-
wine
Right.
at the bar. Can I just look like a dink
Right.
at the bar?"
But they had wine glasses, but you chose not a wine glass?
I said, "Could I please have it in a glass?" Because I didn't like. I thought like a little
Oh, like a half tumbler
rock glass
kind of
or
thing?
a tumbler. Yeah, like one that you could mistake it for a rum and coke if you weren't paying attention. I don't think
But
majority.
you're a lady, and ladies drink wine. It would have given you some cred. Would have given you some lady cred to have it in a wine glass, don't you think?
Well, to be quite honest, as a young child and thinking that we were like
Now we're
punk
getting
rock,
into it. Yeah.
and I used to hang out with these like really like we used to call them like I don't know gutter punks. So they were
No.
like they didn't bathe. They were like screw the establishment and stuff like
Okay,
that, and
all right,
like
sure.
too punk rock for life. And they used to drink all the time in the park and like do bush parties and stuff. But I never drank beer. I don't like beer.
Right.
So
When you say bush parties, are you hiding in a bush drinking?
essentially,
Yeah. Where I grew up, the insides of giant bushes would be carved out by dirtbag kids.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
people would bring like an old couch and stick it in there.
well, that was us.
Yeah. So that's bush parties.
Yeah.
All right.
So we would do that. Sometimes we would rent a generator and have like their like
Oh, sweet.
crappy bands come out. But I just
Wow.
remember always trying to hide that I wasn't drinking beer. So and
Okay.
I've always done
felt
that.
self-conscious because everybody else was having beer, and you're like, "What are you, too classy for beer?" And you're like,
No,
"I actually don't enjoy yeast and hops." Is that something?
It just tastes like if you took soda water and poured it through a dirty sock. Like, that's what beer tastes like to me. I just can't do it.
Do you drink a hard alcohol?
Yeah, I drink vodka.
Vodka?
I drink.
Do you drink it mixed with something? Like
Yes.
orange juice or something?
No. Ugh, what am I, 14?
I don't know.
No, I like vodka sodas. I
Okay.
like essentially like a few drinks. I like wine, vodka sodas, and I like Black Russians.
Black Russians, which is is there a
Kahlua
white
and
Russian?
vodka.
Kahlua
No
and
milk.
vodka. No milk. That's a white
no,
Russian.
Not yeah. Kahlua and vodka.
Kahlua. Okay.
I said I can have like one, and then I'm like, I need to go home.
Right. You fall over in a heap.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. So a little booze discussion. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I'm still trying to get to the fact that you taxidermy stuffed animals.
Yes, I do. I'm very good at it. I'm very proud of it.
I have to say, I was kind of hoping you were going to bring me one.
The only thing is, I tried to, but I couldn't. They wouldn't let it because they're too big. But however,
One day it'll happen.
well, I also have to find. See, there's a whole thing on
You
it.
showed me these things, and
know.
I was like, and then I saw pictures. I saw a real one that you had made. You brought me you showed me one that
Yeah.
you had made, and then I saw so many pictures. And what it is you take a stuffed animal, and then you mount it like
Yes.
the head of a deer
Yes,
on a plaque.
yes.
Yes, it was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Now
it's
there's
art.
There's a huge process to it as well, and I will say I'm not the person. I did not make this idea up.
Who made it up to your knowledge?
I have no
Where did you
idea.
get it? Where did you get it? What happened?
Well, see, I don't.
What is the process? How does it come into Rhiannon's life?
So I like the look of deer heads, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill a deer. I couldn't have.
You
a
think
deer.
horses' feet hurt?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be able to do it. So what happened was, I had that idea, and also because they're really expensive too.
Okay,
They're
real
very
taxidermy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Well, bringing it back, when I was in Omaha, I saw a deer get taxidermied, and I didn't
saw
want
it?
to. I didn't want to.
It was like it was like, well, there's nothing else to do. They don't have a museum. Let's go to the taxidermy factory.
No, I was waiting in the car, and I was waiting in a car.
Please,
and,
who said you could get out of the truck? All right.
and a car pulled up like across the way. It was in like an industrial thing, and they pulled out a deer, and I'm like, yeah, bag of deer. Like,
Right.
They got it. And so then they hoisted it up, and I'm like, well, I wonder what they're doing. And then they just violently cut its legs off, and then its head off, and I just remembered, like, I couldn't look away. So I'm like, I can't do that. So,
That is not taxiderming, by the way.
what is it?
That's slaughtering. That's just cutting up a deer so that you can eat it.
Well,
You got to take the legs off, and then you got to take the head off,
oh,
and then
dear God.
and then what you have is deer steaks and deer legs, and you know, yeah.
I once ate a venison pepperoni thing by accident. I'm like, this tastes like garbage. And I was like, oh, because it's a deer. It's a deer. It probably
Different
died
meats.
out of, like, hate. Nobody likes deers.
No, deer.
Are
Different meat tastes
assholes.
differently, right? So you have beef. Do you eat meat?
Yes.
Okay. So beef tastes like beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have a burger or a steak, you're like, oh, that's what beef tastes like. When you have chicken, you're like, oh, that's what chicken tastes like. When you have goat, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I've never eaten a goat. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you could.
Nope.
It'd be
I couldn't
fun.
do it. I couldn't do it. I can't eat a little pig.
What? You don't eat pork?
No.
No pork.
No pork. I eat fish.
Are you Muslim?
No.
How'd you get into this country? Anyway, are you
With that Canadian passport.
are you a Black Panther? What's happening? You know, there's always there's the Jews, there's the Muslims, and there's the Black Panthers. They don't eat pork either.
Well, let's go back to my history classes. I was watching Forrest Gump yesterday, and I was like, what
No.
exactly did the Black Panthers do? Or they were just angry. That's all
Right.
I know them of.
Why would they have been angry? You think to yourself, why would Black Americans be angry about anything? Their lives have just been one sweet, sweet ride to the finish.
I understand.
Just think about their.
I can sympathize. For sure, but
It's yes.
oh yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
so the process of doing it. So I really liked them, and then I was like, I need a hobby, and so then I started thinking like, oh well, I'm going to decorate because I decorate my house very very oddly as well.
Oh, really?
Yes. I have a habit of going to like Goodwills and finding paintings and pictures and stuff like that. I go all over the place to reuse centers and stuff like that, and I pick up weird things. Like I have a weird thing for Pinky and Blue Boy. Do you know who they are?
I do not. What's the history of Pinky and Blue Boy?
They're these paintings that they always put together, but they're done by two different artists, and they're like 100 years apart, but they look similar. And one is a boy dressed in blue. Yeah, kind of looks like Vigo from the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2.
All right.
And then the other one, but it's not as evil. It's like that kind of style. And then the other one is a girl all dressed in pink with a bonnet.
Okay.
And they were super big in like the 60s and 70s, and people had them all in their houses. So then I was like, I'm going to just like obsessively buy everyone I see and get really excited about it.
And just carpet your walls with them. Is that it?
Essentially, yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of your walls. They're busy. You got a busy wall. There's not a lot of negative space happening.
No. That's what I do. So
it's nice.
What I was doing was I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start making my own. If I'm not gonna kill any animals. So what I do is I will go to a Goodwill again. I will buy animals, especially stuffed animals, if they look good.
Now, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a stuffed animal?
I like endangered animals. I've got a bunch
like a rhinoceros.
I got some pandas up there.
You got some pandas?
I got some lions. The best one was the lion.
Okay.
It was a beautiful lion. But the only thing is,
how big are they? Are they like? Do you try to get big stuffed animals?
Well, right now they are pretty big. One, because I do have one for you. I'm just going to send it back to you, though. I'm just going to mail it to you because I'm
excited. Do you have a picture of it? Can we post it?
No, you have to. You can have it. You can take a photo. Well, I'll take a photo of it when I get back. But you'll enjoy it. So I buy the plaques from Michael's and I stain them myself.
Okay.
And then I'll go to find an animal. I don't particularly have one in mind, but I want them as real looking as possible.
Okay.
So then when I get them, I freeze the animals.
Wait. You freeze. That's right.
Because there's bed bugs and there's stuff like that. Like, you don't know, so you got to freeze the animals. So
right, because you can't really wash them. Right, because they're stuffed animals, right?
Yeah. So I gotta make sure, there's I did one that was a tortoise.
Used stuffed animals. You did used stuffed animals. Yeah, you gotta freeze them to get sort of what might have lived there.
Yeah, so
there might be lice or bugs or something.
Or stuff like that. So I actually have
That's just a good idea when you're buying secondhand stuffed animals for your child.
And
and how long do you keep it in the freezer?
At least 24 hours.
Just a good 24 hours.
Yeah, and I have no frozen food in my house.
Okay, because I bet. And do you put it in a bag? Yes. I hope you put it in a trash bag and stick it in the freezer.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So then I do that, and then I try to find the kind of nice plaque I want behind it, and I cut their heads off, which is very, very mentally You have to get the first time I did it. I don't care. I was very upset with myself because I was like, this was somebody's toy that they loved.
What was the first one you did?
It was a bear.
It was a bear.
No. Sorry, it was a rabbit. And the thing was, it was a sad, long-eared rabbit that just looked depressing as hell. And I remember cutting it off, and I was like, "You'll be happier now." And it took me a while. I was like, because you're cutting through. I tried to do it to
You have a dark soul, and I like it. I like it.
I tried to do it to a Care Bear, but they have the complete wrong stuffing.
Oh yeah, now talk to me about that. Because the thing is once you cut off the head, you got to grab the stuffing from the rest of it. I bet.
Yeah, so you have to cut. You have to cut from its right from its shoulders. You got to give it some. Because what you got to do is you got to grab more of the stuffing from the body and shove it into the head so it can prop up.
Right.
Then you got to basically fold over the flaps to cover its neck off. Then you hot glue it and you put it onto the thing. Then you have to position it and glue it. Do that, drill holes in the back, and there you go.
So you're hot gluing it to the you've bought a plaque at Michael's, age size appropriate.
Absolutely.
And so you are now staining it. So you buy, it's just raw wood at this time.
Yep.
And so you have stain. So you paint, stain. And then do you shellac it? Or is it, does stain make it just...
Stain makes it shiny. It makes it look like it depends on what kind of stain you want.
Do you ever get those brass plates?
No, I wish.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, those
just
are-
give you a date in a city.
Oh, I got to engrave them though.
Right,
now.
right,
Now
then-
this is getting crazy. I don't have these kind of material.
But you've made dozens of them, right? Or a dozen of them, right?
I have heads in my freezer right now. Don't mind saying that.
What heads? Who's freezing at this time?
I finally found another sea turtle, so I'm very excited because you can take the arms and you put the arms onto the plaque as well.
Wow.
I, in a drunken stupor, gave away the first one, and I was very upset. I was just it was around the holidays. I give these away as Christmas gifts as well.
Yeah. Well, you should sell them. This is an Etsy thing that would
You
be
can probably
huge.
go on and see them on. I think. Because
Have you seen them? Other people do them?
Oh yeah, like I know this isn't my sort of thing. However,
There's a community. There's a community of people that are taxiderming stuffed animals.
yeah, absolutely. I make them though. Mine I try to make as realistic as possible, and I put a lot of care and attention to detail into
Right.
these. They
Sure.
just kind of like, here's a unicorn. I'm like, that's not a real thing.
That's not a real unicorn.
It's like, here's a bald eagle. That's a real thing. My dad got bit. He went to Gibraltar last summer, and he was telling me how he got bit by one of the monkeys there. So it took me a good 4 weeks to finally find a monkey. So I made him a monkey one.
So you're constantly scouring the thrift stores of the world.
I have a bad addiction to doing that.
Yeah?
And I never buy clothes or anything like that. I always buy stuffed animals or.
And you like an endangered species?
Yeah,
Like-
and it sucks because I can't bring that much back home
From
when
here.
I leave. And I've seen so many things. I'm like, that would look beautiful on.
What do you
on the
got?
plaque.
What'd you see? What'd you see?
Oh, there was just some really interesting. There was a couple. There was a nice husky one.
Oh, a dog.
Yeah,
The husky dog.
I'm not opposed to putting dogs on there.
No.
I saw a couple other lions were really good. Oh, there was a nice hippo.
Oh, there was a hippo.
However, it was
mouth
a-
open, mouth closed.
Open.
Okay. Don't be ridiculous, Jackie.
What are you doing? And come on. But I also have a bad thing of I have a lot of friends that have children.
Right.
So when I go to their houses, I'm just like, where did you get that, or can I have that? And I'm like, they're not gonna notice this little thing, and they're like, okay,
They're gonna notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what Andy told me? You cannot see his teddy bear. From when he was a kid, he was like, she doesn't get to meet Teddy. I'm so
enough.
sorry.
No, I have one too. I have a rabbit that I had since I was a kid.
Yeah. That you wouldn't.
I would no. My
Right.
boyfriend Graham, he has got a panda. Would look great.
It would look
Great. I had the perfect stain for it too. It's a nice, like a cherry brown.
Yeah.
He won't do it.
No.
No.
He's got. It's very hard to hug a mounted head.
Yeah.
When you need to hug your stuffed animal, that's going to be my dog. You're not. Yeah, I have a little dog too, Laddie.
Oh, like a real one?
A stuffed dog.
Okay.
Stuffed dog. We don't have a dog. We have an iguana. Andy's out back during the taping with the iguana, with the live iguana.
Really?
Yeah. You can meet him after. Tiberius.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Okay. So you fold. Okay. So you have the good wood that you get, and you stain it to match so that it's a nice contrast. Is that
Yeah.
the deal? Is that what you're looking for?
Well, it depends on what animal I'm doing. I'm not gonna make them. I want the head to be represented and to be as accented nicely as it can.
Right, to pop.
Yeah.
Really. You
Yeah.
want the head to pop.
Exactly. And use ribbon sometimes too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
How does that?
Well, I put because around the neck it doesn't
Okay.
look the best.
Oh, good. So
you
to
have
finish
to hide it, hide the thing with the ribbon.
Yeah, just a little finishing. That's
Yeah.
not a bad idea. That seems like a really good idea. Do you use usually a different color or?
No, I always use black.
You always use black
Yeah.
for the mounting. That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
it goes on there, and then you have to fold the neck so obviously the stuff isn't falling out, and it gives you something to glue it onto.
Right.
So you just kind of do that, and then.
And do they fall apart? Or how hard do you have to glue them? I mean, is it a long process to make sure that they stay on the board?
They don't fall apart, but so the one I have is Magnus. Is a
Oh, you've
moose.
named them. Magnus. Oh, you have a moose?
But he came with a little hat, And so his head is. I couldn't get that thing
head off.
out of. It was like a Mountie moose, and I couldn't get the little Mountie imprint off of his head.
Yeah.
So Magnus. So what I did before was I used to just hot glue on the back to hang them.
Yep.
I just used to hot glue some wire.
Yep.
But Magnus fell on me once. So
Oh, he fell off the wall.
they all started falling off the walls. So now we drill.
Now you wait. So you drill into the felt
wood.
but you essentially nail the head onto the wood, or do you
No.
just hot glue onto the
Hot
wood?
glue onto the glue onto the wood.
And then the
Around the
drilling.
back.
The drilling is you make wires and then you hang them.
Yes.
Or do you drill them into the wall and then you'll never get your security deposit back? What's happening?
Oh well, I do have cement. I do have concrete walls, but no. I drill into the wooden things now.
To make wire hangers, or to where are you drilling? I am not picturing what is happening.
So on the back, in order to hang it, you know
Yeah.
how you put side to side?
Yeah.
I have to make 2 drills and then connect them with wire, and then you can hang it from the wire.
That's it. Okay, that's exactly what I pictured you were doing. I just,
Okay.
for some reason, was picturing you also drilling like
Into
a
the
nail
head?
into the head
No.
of the stuffed animal, and I'm like, well, that ruins it.
Yeah,
And,
that would be very messy.
That would be
messy.
right. There'd be stuffing everywhere. Gore.
Well, there is.
Do you ever refer to it as gore?
No, I always say like the bits.
Oh, the bits. Nice.
Well, towards like I gear up doing a lot of them towards Christmas, and it's just I don't want to know what the garbage men think, because they're always like I always have bags and bags and bags of bodies.
Just
bodies.
Just the bodies.
Just all these little sweet pudgy tummied bodies. Just
Pudgy tummied bodies of bears and rhinoceroses.
Yeah,
so
just
what do you?
shredded.
Now I saw the wall. I saw a picture of your wall, and it had a lot of them on there. And you have a roommate, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And he's a fan.
Oh yeah, he loves them. He was the person I gave the very first one to.
What was the
rabbit, that sad rabbit.
And he's got it. And
Yep.
he's psyched.
It's in our office.
All right. And he and so he was like, "You got to do more of these."
He was like, I
encouraging-
think they're great. And the kind of thing I was like, you know what? I don't care if nobody likes these. I'm going to do a lot more of them.
right.
I'm like, I've really enjoyed doing this.
That is a classic dorkdom.
Yeah.
Where you can taxidermy a stuffed animal. So what are the animals you have in the freezer at this time?
Yeah, so I have I'm pretty sure I have an elephant in there, and I have another tortoise.
Okay, and did you find an elephant with tusks?
Well, of course.
Yeah? You got to have the tusks?
Yeah, well, tusks just make it more special,
It
more
would be the
valuable.
best. It'd be best to get that felt ivory out of Africa or India. It's not as
Yeah.
to get
And this way I won't go to jail.
right. You won't go to jail. It's just the greatest thing. And I want, because do you still have them on your phone? The pictures?
Maybe.
Okay.
I switched my phone because I got a new phone, but I switched to the iPhone when I came down here, so it wouldn't get, because I know how that one works more.
Okay. So you don't have your home phone.
Well, but I'm home tomorrow. I can send you some
Are you
photos.
flying home tomorrow? Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, send me some photos because this will drop in a couple of weeks. So.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we'll post them, and that'll be fantabulous. Mm-hmm. What are the holy grails of stuffed animals that you're looking for?
Like the number ones?
Like a crocodile? Have you ever had an alligator or a crocodile?
I almost did, but it was too chewed up.
Okay.
I would like a crocodile. I would really like a rhinoceros.
Okay. Yeah.
Those would be awesome.
That would be pretty great.
I would like an ostrich.
Oh, wow.
And I never really.
Have you ever thought about if you find a giant stuffed elephant, taking the elephant foot, sawing it off, shellacking it so it's hard, and turning it into an umbrella stand? What? Why am I crazy?
Wait a minute. Oh, so like
You know how,
I
like,
hollow it out?
Yeah, you hollow it out and then somehow make it super hard and turn it into a fake umbrella stand.
That's amazing.
Because
but
remember, they used to do that. They would use elephant feet, and they would hollow them out, and to make them into umbrella stands.
Who did this?
The British.
Oh, they're rude.
Right. Sure. That's your queen, not mine.
But she's not the queen. Okay.
All right.
Queenie there. I'm like, but she's not my queen. Yeah, she is.
She is. But for no reason. But the weirdest thing is, yeah, I mean, it'd be so funny because the thing is the taxiderming, is that the word possibly? Taxidermying of these heads on plaques. There were other rude things that were done to animals.
Oh, it's atrocious. Yeah.
Like taking the elephant thing. What else could we do? What other horrible things did they do to animals and then turn them into like letter openers? And
we could start making like a plush piano out of those.
Out of the
tusks.
Right. It'd take sort of you could make a plushy piano. You know, in home ec class in 8th grade, because I loved my sister so much and we had to make pillows. That was one of our tasks, is to make a pillow in home ec sewing class.
Out of a t-shirt?
Out of materials.
We didn't have that.
We had that. And so I tried to make a violin for my sister because she played the violin and she loved it so. Guess what's really hard? A violin. A violin pillow. A violin pillow. And the teacher was like, she just short of saying, Jackie, you're not good at sewing. What are you thinking? And I also made a blouse that was ill-fitting. And those were the two things.
Impressive. We didn't learn how to do that at all.
I went to junior high in the 40s. So it was back when that's how you got a man, is you learned how to sew and cook.
Well, for a second I was like,
what?
40s. I'm like, you did not go to school. I'm like, I may not know the conversion of that even.
How flattering is it that you were like, well, maybe was she in the war? The big one?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys all look young down here. She is the
best looking 117-year-old person I've ever seen in my life.
Well, this is California.
It is California. We're constantly moisturizing. Not me. Yeah. Are you going to move down? Are you going to move down to Los Angeles, do you think?
This is the wonderful thing. This place is so cool. Like, this place is amazing.
You've had a good time?
I've had an excellent time, and I've been met so, like, lovingly and warm by all the comedians down here. And,
awesome.
I think it also helps that being in Canada, I get to open for, like, you and, like, other people that have come through that way. Mm-hmm. But, like, I gotta do all these legal things.
Right. There's hoops. There's a great number of hoops if you were to want to.
And especially, my dad is a judge for immigration.
Oh, is he now?
So, and I don't think he wants me to go. So
that's hilarious.
But
are you an only child?
No, I have 2 brothers.
Oh well, then what is he's got spares? What's his problem?
I'm the good one.
Oh, okay.
I'm the good one.
I'm the one he wants to keep around.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I really like it down here. It's amazing. Like, and I don't care. And I think even if I moved down here, I would never lose this aspect. I get excited when I see famous people.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no reason not to get excited about it.
I don't act a fool. But
Right. You don't lose your mind. I saw Bill Murray one time, and I chose not to go sit on him like he was a dolphin that I was swimming with. I was like, let's just let him be.
Mm-hmm. I got to do Andy Kindler and Friends at the Improv last Saturday, which was
very nice.
It was so much fun. But I got there, and I saw this man very nicely dressed, and I go, "Oh, I think that's my dad's friend." Like, I was like, I know that man. I'm pretty sure he's friends with my dad. And then it was Dr. Drew. So he's not friends with my dad.
Right. You just recognized him because he was on television, and you're like, I must know that guy.
I could have sworn he was. I was like,
well, that guy looks like he'd hang out with my dad. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Who else did I see?
Did you see anybody famous? What'd you see? Have you seen some famous people? I saw Orlando Bloom once. Oh. He was very handsome.
There was one. Okay. So I'm staying in Burbank. No, this was a good one. I'm staying in Burbank, and I pull up to the lights. I was driving with my friend, so I was in the passenger seat, and this guy was like rubbing his eye.
Like a toddler?
Yeah, just like he was sad.
Yeah.
And I turned to him, and I was just being like silly, and I was like, buddy, don't cry. You live in the most beautiful place ever. And then he put his hands down, and it was Moby.
Really?
I was like, oh.
Wow, I wouldn't recognize Moby if he was wearing a name tag. That's my biggest problem with famous people, is that I don't know who anyone is. So
Yeah.
if you are old, I might know who you are. If you are too old, I don't know who you are. And if you're young, like if I saw Lindsay Lohan and Kim Kardashian, if one of those people came up and slapped me in the face, I wouldn't know them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know what they look like. They all have the same sort of. They're either super skinny blonde, good looking, or super like curvy dark hair, good looking.
Yeah, I think it's the...
Everyone looks like Alyssa Milano from Charmed, and I don't know if you
Just like, I know Charmed. I just don't watch it.
Right. You know who that is.
See, who else did I see? And I didn't say anything to these people. Oh, I saw the guy from Entourage, Adrian Grenier.
Are you sure it just wasn't many guys who were just like the guys from Entourage?
No, it looked like him because he looked up and I was like, those eyes. And then I just walked away. But I did, there was one person I felt so bad about because like, I don't know. So after the show, I never drink before shows ever. So after the show,
I love that because it affects how your performance is.
1,000
Good
times.
choice.
No, like I don't know how people like even just one messes up my speech incredibly. Like, and it's one of those things where I'm
It
like,
just ruins your timing.
yeah, and I don't.
When I drank, I never drank before shows because the reason I didn't is because it wasn't because I felt that I was doing poorly. It felt that I didn't care how I was doing.
Oh,
I no
yeah.
longer cared.
No, mine is just you can hear it. Like I'll be 100% there, but the second I have a drink, my speech just gets like words don't sound right. Like for instance, oh, this is beautiful. So at I didn't have a drink beforehand. I don't know why this happened. I have a joke. It's about being a 1960s housewife.
Sure.
And, and I say I just make a mention to that I have black eyes. That's it. Eyes. Half the audience heard me talking about black guys.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I didn't. So I get off stage, and the
And
host
you remind
goes,
them that you're Canadian.
Well, yeah, I was like, wait, I don't think we were really that racist. Like, didn't we take all of? Like, we were like, come hang out.
Come.
But the host comes up, and he was like, well, that was kind of a racist way to end, and I was like, what?
What happened?
Yeah, I was like, huh? And so then everybody kind of explained to me they heard that I was talking about like being
Black guys in
Black
the
guys.
60s.
In the 60s.
Weird.
Well, the thing is, like, the joke basically goes like, I want to be a housewife, like a 60s housewife in Mad Men. And I say, like, I'll vacuum with, like, high heels and a dress on, and sometimes I have a martini, or sometimes I have a cigarette, or sometimes I'll just have a black eye. So they're like, sometimes I'll just have a black guy.
Right.
And then
have
I
a black
say-
eye, to have a blackened eyeball, to have been poked in the eye, is okay.
Yeah, well, the thing was...
I recommend you drink and change the wording.
Yeah.
Just go, well, somebody punched me in the eye. Sometimes I'll just, because you know what the biggest problem with women is they just don't listen.
Well, then at the end of it, I say, but who am I kidding? I would have two black eyes because I don't listen well. So then there was like, I'm even shoveling even more because then I make a joke. I'm like,
oh, two black guys.
I was like, oh, okay. And it's not the best joke. It's just a silly joke. It's not condoning spousal abuse. But when I explained it, I was like, guys, I said black eyes. And they're like, oh, that's okay. We just, thought you were saying something racist. I'm like, okay, but so let's get it straight. You're okay with you're not okay with racism, but you're totally fine with spousal abuse. Got it. Great. Okay. Glad to see where I stand, guys. Sorry I spoke.
Sorry I talked up at all.
Yeah,
sorry,
guys.
you don't want the little lady piping up.
Is anybody hungry? Can I make anything to eat?
Would you like some sheet cake and a cup of coffee? Can I hook you up?
But it was a very fun show. But anyways, a guy at that show, he's in all the commercials here. He's in all the commercials in Canada. He's this blonde man. He's a very good actor.
Right.
And so I had a drink.
Is he
or
one of
two.
the bearded youth movement? Is he beard or no beard?
He's an older man.
He's an older man.
Maybe like 40s. I don't know.
Okay.
He's very nice. I think his name was Jerry.
Okay.
So he came up to me and he was like, "You're really funny." Blah blah blah. And
was it Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Wait.
He's in a lot of commercials.
He's like, what's the deal with you being funny? No, he did not say it. But he came up to me and said that, and then finally
he enjoyed your show.
Yeah, and I broke my rule and went, oh, you're in every commercial. So the one person I totally didn't freak out about it, but I did go like, oh, this man is great. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know who you are, but I don't know your name.
Right. And did he take it well? Was he pleased that you had recognized him?
I don't know.
Oh,
I kind of was just like, and then at the end I was like, I did say black eyes.
I
sir.
said black eyes. I'm talking about hitting.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
No,
about
not racism or-
sexual racism.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Now, I want to get back to these taxidermies.
Yes.
How would you recommend people go about it if they want?
If they want to do it,
yeah.
well, you have
Much
to,
like everything.
you got to really, you got to start off with, is this something that I am strong enough to do? Like, can I do this? Can I take something that people loved and just rip it apart? Just shred it with no remorse.
Right.
Because if you, for 1 second, are going to let your feelings get into it, that's going to be a crappy teddy bear mounted up.
Right. That teddy bear will have died for naught.
Those-
for nothing.
Those salty tears will soil his beautiful fur. Do not do that.
Right. You got to have the guts to really do it because you don't want to serrate that edge.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's a good one.
And also safety first.
Always.
Watch the fingers. You're cutting stuff, and the hot glue gun gets very hot.
Had you always known how to use a hot glue gun? I've never
From a
used
young child, yes.
Yeah,
My
I'd
mom
never-
used to make
I've never
pine
used
cone
them.
reefs
pine
and
cone
trees.
wreaths. Okay.
My mom was very weird, actually. She
I'm shocked.
Used to make. She used
Is
to
she
make.
a judge?
No, she's a district works clerk.
All right. Also in the legal industry.
Yeah. So what she used to do, and I remember doing this as young as 3 or 4. She would just pull off to the side of the road and be like, "Get the pine cones," and I'd have to go out and just collect pine cones in front of the YMCA, and then be like, "Here." She's like, "Get more, get some size differences," and then she would just make these weird pine cone.
Christmas trees and stuff.
Yeah, and then glue little.
We were in Yosemite last year. There were signs on the side of the road that said, "Please do not pick up the pine cones."
Well, don't.
Right,
Because
'cause
their
the-
habitat.
It turns out the pine cones are part of the ecosystem,
Yeah.
and I think they're needed for some reason. And I was like, "What the fuck? It's a pine cone."
Yeah,
and they're
dad
like,
pine cone. You
"It's
take them
not
away.
just-"
Who's going to feed the other pine cones? You screwed that family.
"There's a family of pine cones."
Yeah, they want Amber Alerts everywhere for the baby pine cones. You can't. You don't know what's that. See, that's so weird. I always give inanimate objects feelings and they have a
do you?
personality in a life. When I was really little, I could never throw away my lunch plastic bag. I couldn't because I would I can't separate this bag from its friends at home. It needs to be thrown out at home with its friends because then it's going to be in the landfill and then they're going to be separated for eternity. And I was
Wow.
like, too much guilt.
That is awesome. You are an adorable tiny child thinking about the lives of inanimate objects.
Well, yeah.
Do you ever play? Do you play action figures? Do you ever do that?
Yep.
Yep.
And I still have all of my Ghostbuster action figures.
Really?
Yes.
Is it Ghostbusters? Mm-hmm. Why did you go Ghostbusters? Have you seen all the films?
Of course.
Have you seen all the cartoons?
Yes, of course.
What is the draw of a ghost? I've only seen the first movie.
What?
1,000,000 years ago, I only saw the first movie. It was good.
What are you doing?
There's a key, there's a lock, there's a little guy, there's what's her face from Aliens.
With the most perfect bone structure ever, Sigourney.
She's
Weaver.
got some good ones. I just saw Galaxy Quest the other day.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
I love Sam Rockwell in that. I love him.
Everyone,
Yeah.
absolutely everyone in that movie completely nailed it.
So I just always loved Ghostbusters. My brother was into He-Man, and they bought. I was always a tomboy, so I always played with. Because my parents divorced when I was young, so it was always me and my brother. Mm-hmm. So I just played with what he played with. So I had.
What about that third brother? What about that third sibling?
That is a 10-year difference in another
that's-
mother.
And a different mother. All right,
Yeah.
so not playing with you two.
Well, I did. When he
little.
was little. He was
Sure.
a funny little kid.
All right, nice.
But yeah, I always played with the toys my brother had.
And he had He-Man toys,
Yeah, but I didn't care for the He-Man.
but he had Ghostbuster toys.
Yeah, and then I got the Ghostbuster toys, and then I also liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You ever read the original, the Eastman and Laird original graphic novel about? It's a lot darker. It's a lot more.
Oh, probably.
It speaks a lot more to the psyche of No, it's still Ninja Turtles. It turns out, and there's
fair
pizza
enough.
that's being consumed,
Oh,
but it
'cause I thought
is
it'd be
slightly.
sorry. I thought it would be like The Little Mermaid. Like Disney's.
Oh,
That's
the
not
real-
how that ends.
Oh yeah, that is not how that ends. It does. It ends poorly.
Have you ever seen the Shelley Duvall Storytime Theater?
Almost
or Fairy Tale
almost
Theater?
never. No.
No?
Nope.
Oh, they're really cool. I think they're from the 80s, and it's like people like Mick Jagger's like doing The Nightingale, and like Billy Crystal is doing like the Three Pigs with like
Okay.
Three Little Pigs with, like Jeff Goldblum. Anyways, I learned I watched those a lot too. I was just
And so
thinking
that's
because
how
I
you
remember there's a
learned how
Little
the
Mermaid
mermaid-
one, and I was like, this isn't Ariel.
This is
Not
keep
it.
singing, keep singing.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not right. And then, oh god,
That lady's bad, and this is not going to end well.
oh, I thought it was one of those.
Right,
Oh, no.
no, it's but the Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters were there. Have you seen all? Are there 3 movies or are there 2
they
movies?
keep talking about a third movie, but I do not want them to do that.
Okay,
I do not want them
Harold
to do that.
Ramis. I like Harold Ramis. Is he in all 3? Both of them? Is he in the second one? Is
Yeah.
everyone in the second one?
Yeah, and
Same dream team?
yeah.
Okay,
So if they do another one, they're not going to.
right, because it's
They look drastically different.
drastically. It's. Did you see Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
I unfortunately did. Yeah, and I was like, "What is this monkey army? This is garbage." I've never been. I've been.
It's
upset
hard
in
for a
many movies.
72-year-old man to be quite the superhero where he's jumping on things.
Oh, it wasn't even that. It was just the whole other movie.
Oh, the plot.
Yeah.
The actual.
Well, what plot?
The other didn't have plot either. It's
Yeah. So.
So there's that. So I want to know. Those are the 2. What are the last 2 that you made? What are the last 2 taxidermy heads have you made? I'm fascinated by this. I
Oh,
need to.
absolutely. I'm trying
I
to
almost
think.
kind of want to do it myself. I kind of want to find stuffed animals and mail them to you.
Oh, do it. I'll give you the address. The last 2, because I had to take a little break because I've been busy the past little while. But
Sure.
the last 2.
Is it soothing? The gluing
nice.
and it's
Yeah.
just it's
I
a
put
nice
on music.
hands. Okay, what
I
kind of
have-
music?
Oh, I'm.
Is there music to
There is music.
to taxiderm
that
to?
probably is why it's stirring up so many upsetting emotions. I'm listening to a lot of like Ella Fitzgerald and probably Billie Holiday when I'm doing
Wow, a lot of sad.
Yeah.
Have you tried any Ruth Brown?
No.
she's
Haven't
been
gotten there
punched
yet.
a lot, and she doesn't mind a guy that punches her.
Oh.
But she's one of my brother's favorite singers
Uh-huh.
of the 20th century. He said she's one of the best. And I bought a great compilation, and she has an amazing voice, and the music is beautiful. The lyrics are constantly about how she's looking for a tough guy who might occasionally hit her. And I was like, no, I don't
You like
enjoy
what you
this.
like. You know, if that's your thing, then
If
go
that's
for
your
it.
thing, where you like financial insecurity and somebody poking you in the eyeball.
So yeah, I just pop those on, get real sad, put a candle in the window, and I just cut up animals. That's what I do.
It's what
It's
you
what,
do.
it's what you do in Toronto. You know,
That's right. There's a lot of winter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of winter. What? So what are the last 2? Can you remember?
I think I had made I had made a cow. I got a really nice cow from a comedian because he heard that I was doing it, and he was like, here's one for you. And I have not.
Nice head.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm
Right.
not giving it to him back either.
Was it a black and white? What was
It's
it?
a nice Holstein.
It was a Holstein with horns or no
definitely
horns?
baby horns. I'm pretty sure it was a calf.
Oh,
It had like those big Jersey eyes though. So it's a cross. Like
It
its
was a bit
body
of a
was
mutt.
a Holstein, but
it was
I'm like,
a terrier pug of cows.
I think I would
of
cross the
stuffed
line
cows.
there. No,
Yeah.
no beefies on the.
Yeah.
No.
There will be no pug.
I'd do a
or-
full tilt pug.
Oh, would you do a full tilt pug?
Yeah.
All right.
And
That's
the
between
other,
you and your God. And
I think the other one I made, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to like be extremely specific. I think it was a black bear.
oh, okay.
Which is
A
a smaller
cub
one, though.
or yeah.
But even still, when they're small, they're still like this big.
Oh, they're still a good 2 feet square kind
Yeah.
of thing. Okay. Wow. Rhiannon, it has been an hour.
Oh.
And I am fascinated, still fascinated, and I want a virtual tour of the animals that you have on the, and plus these paintings. Let's take some photos when you get home tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
And email them to me, and I will create a little gallery. That'll be lovely. People will enjoy.
And you know what I'm going to do for
What?
you?
What are you going to do for me?
I'm going to do a how-to video on how to make these.
Oh my God! Yes, please.
I will do that now. Now think about that.
That is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Rhiannon Archer, which is RhiannonArcher.com. Are you on the Twitter?
I am. It's at Rhiannon Archer.
At Rhiannon Archer. All right, so, and if you're in Toronto and you get a chance to see some stand-up comedy, you got some comedy coming up in December at all?
Yeah, I got more in November.
This isn't going to air. This will be dropping in December.
December. Yeah, I'm doing
January?
I'm doing a Laughs for Jesus. I don't know.
Laughs for Jesus.
I'm doing a corporate. It's for Jesus' birthday.
Oh, okay. Oh, Christmas
He's
party.
from Canada, if you didn't know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You know, I thought he was from upstate New York, according to the Mormons.
Oh.
Right. Well, or at least he lived there for a while.
He visited.
Right. He lived there
visited
for a
old
while.
good John Smith, was it?
John Smith.
Yeah.
John Smith. And then he wrote down what happened.
And I didn't take those 5 discussions.
Were you raised Catholic? For reals?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, if I was going to, I was sent to Catholic school.
You're right. You were sent to that building.
Yes.
And that was where?
I was given that kilt and sent on my way.
Kilt. Did you wear no underpants?
Oh, no.
Like the men folk.
Full boxers.
Full boxers.
I was sturdy on my feet, and I didn't want to be popular, so I was like, I'm just gonna
bring this down a notch.
Yeah, and then when they let us wear pants, I'm like, game on.
Ladies and gentlemen, always a delight. Rhiannon Archer, go see her do stand-up comedy. Stuffed animal taxidermy. I can't even express to you. Take care of each other out there. That show was awesome. Let's do the credits. Patrick Brady, he fixes the audio every week. He also does the teaser videos on YouTube. So Patrick Brady is an awesome guy, and I thank him for his work. Mike Rickberg sang the song you heard at the beginning, composed and sang it with his girlfriend Sarah. He's going to sing in about a heartbeat for the Mexican hat dance. And Vilmos fixes my website, JackieCation.com. So support him and his work. Thanks a lot, you guys. Take care out there. Bye.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?